All right, August 22nd. We took a short today. I took a short today, and it was with 7 MES, 8 points, risked 122 for 428. Realized a 2R, and I planned for a 3.5R. So I did not manage this trade properly. But I do want to get into the chart. So truthfully, I have not been creating pre-market plans as often as I should. Because I don't know, I've just a lot of my trades have been more intraday developed, and so I've just been formulating a trade plan and thesis after the market opens and watching the order flow occur. But I do want to go ahead and get back to making concrete pre-market plans, um, which will be a little bit harder if we come back to trading at all-time highs, which we're basically at already. Say it was an insane jump. Um, But yeah, so the reason for today's insane rally, like literally humongous rally, a gajillion points, from the 63.13s all the way to the 64.78s. Basically, Jerome Powell spoke at Jackson Hole, which caused this volatility. I really don't know what he said. Something about rates, that there was going to be some changes or something like that. I don't know. To the next FOMC, I think. But I don't really care. I'm just focused on the order flow. And so once we got to this level, what I noticed was that there was a lot of volume in these subdued candles that you can see here, yet we were kind of failing to break price, right? So this balance range high line that I drew was actually a previous level that actually respected quite well in the past. And you would think that with all the strength that we had from Jerome Powell speaking, that we would kind of break through that with ease, but we were failing to do so. We really weren't weren't getting that clean breakthrough over there, which was indicating that buying was slowing down for sure. You know what I mean? Buying was definitely slowing down, and there was just a ton of volume that was getting engineered at the highs, right? Typically, you don't want to see a lot of volume at the highs with no continuation, because that means that buyers are not getting rewarded. Okay, so basically what I saw at these highs, right? So in fact, let me back up even a little bit more to like 55 so I can play this bar by bar. So we were kind of in this tight consolidation range right here, right? And then we had this exhaustion, not exhaustion, but this, like, you could call it high over here. We started to have these aggressive sellers spike this down. I'm gonna start playing it here. And what I liked to see, what started to pique my interest a little bit, was the fact that we were gonna like kind of break this microstructure here, which we'll see in a minute. And this kind of, it forms a P-shape distribution on the footprint chart. But what I liked about it was that there were just a lot of sellers trying it here, a lot of sellers. And this is also a P-shape right here as well, I just noticed. But I will play it. Oh, and keep in mind, the 92s was right at this level here. 92s, we're at the same level. So this is at a key level, technically. So this isn't just a willy-nilly trade out of with no, just a P shape. This was at the 92s, which I liked to see. I'm gonna play it here, see how. This is a little bit sped up, but you can see here more selling comes in. You can see this pretty aggressive selling, aggressive selling, aggressive selling. You can see this valid P kind of get developed, even though it does kind of give me an unconventional P, because it kind of leaves like a fatter distribution over here, but it's still a P in my book. The other thing that I saw was this delta outlier right here at the negative 892, right? This is at the 90s. And so after I saw this little microstructure break, right here, this is where we broke the microstructure, because we were kind of holding. What I mean by that is we were holding this consolidation here like for a while, and then we broke it on this footprint right here. And I wanted to see if we can get a pullback into here, because this thing looked pretty good now. Because keep in mind, we've been consolidating for like quite some time, like for 30 minutes, 40 minutes at the highs. building a ton of volume. We finally got this microstructure. So at this point, I was waiting for a pullback, and I did get short at 11:01. So I'll show you. Right there, I get short at the 88s on this quick impulsive move up. And this was an hour-long trade. I'm not gonna lie. This is a very, very long trade. So I'm gonna speed this up, but I want to show you something really cool over here. There was some very interesting activity. So keep in mind this 892 delta right here at the 90s, right? The this candle, you'll see there's gonna be a 2,000 lot at the same exact price level. So what was going in my head, right, after I entered this added extra confluence, because that to me was a sign of a potential seller that was getting in the market, because price had that 2K lot delta there and it wasn't selling off. I'll show you what I mean. Boom, look at that delta. Look at that delta. Building more and more. 2060 delta, and we never breach past that again. Like, I'll speed it up. Literally, we do not breach past that 2.8K delta there, and then we get this, you know, aggressive selling, and this was at the same level where we had this other aggressive delta right here at the minus 892. This is at 64.90s. And then also my stop loss, right, because I got short right here at the 88s, my stop loss was right here at the 91 and a halves. The reasoning was, the thesis was that, like, if price got above this little bulge here, this volume bulge of heavy selling, then I would be invalid on this trade. So that's why I placed it over there. But you can see here this 2.8K lot really added more confidence to my trade, and I did want to see that not budging, and that's exactly what we got. So we get the selling after. I'm gonna speed this up like a lot, and we do get a lot of selling into the target that I had. Now the issue with this trade is that once we came here and we had this little bounce, I sold 5 contracts at the 81 and a half purely out of emotion, purely out of like, it wasn't a technical decision. It was just out of emotion. I got scared and I want to protect myself. I shouldn't have done that, because the trade never hit my stop loss. This trade would have worked fully. Like, I would have gotten out of my position fully had I not sold at this level. And I don't know, it was just an error on my part that I need to work on. I'm going to journal it and try to figure out why I did that, and how I can prevent myself from doing that again, because that's a no-no. That's an absolute no-no, but I'm gonna play it. And my original target was the 75 and 3/4 right here, because you can see here there's this low volume node, and I would show the volume profile, but it's not as prominent now because obviously it's filled out, so it's not a low volume node anymore. But there was a low volume node, where I go replay, right here at this moment. You can see here on the volume distribution. So I targeted that 75s and 3/4, and so at this point I only had 2 contracts left, because like I said, I got out after this bounce. But I did hold the runners, and the runners did eventually go hit the like I said, I'm going to speed it up like a lot, because this was an hour-long trade. There you go, right there. And it's crazy because we actually bounced off of that low-volume node, so I don't think we breached that again the rest of the day. So it was a good trade analysis. It's just the trade management was wrong on my part. So the way that I think I'm going to try and not do that is just, like, take my hands off the keyboard. The thing of it is, like, the reason why I sold is because we were in such strong of an uptrend prior to taking a short. Like, probably if anybody like was right next to me when I took this short, they probably think I'm out of my mind, because look at this aggressive rally right here. You know what I mean? But I mean, that's kind of the point of trading, right? You got to kind of take your setups when you see your setups, right? And so I was kind of, because of the fact that we had this, aggressive buying, I wanted to protect myself. My mind was like, no, 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 let me get out a little bit at the 81s after that bounce to protect myself. However, had I not have done that, I would have made more profit on this trade. So it's a trading area that I'm working on, and we'll try to figure out how to stop.